Okay, realtors, thanks so much for having me back again. I was presenting at the Sips and Tricks at the beginning of the year, so it's really good to be back. My name is Sarah, and I'm a social media coach. And before I did my own social media business, I worked as a transaction marketing coordinator for a local real estate office. So I was learning a lot about social media through the real estate lens, and always kind of has a special place in my heart. So I get it. I feel like you guys don't get enough credit. Like I would come in and hear all the crazy stories. So I used to say like, oh yeah, I'll start as a marketing coordinator, and then I'll work my way up to an agent. And then a year, and I was like, no, thank you. I want to turn my phone off at 5. Like I'm done. Like no, this is crazy. So in January, I did a class about repurposing content, social media for realtors. If you guys want to move, by the way, like you can. I won't be offended if you move back. So that was kind of like lots of slides and lots of notes and stuff. And it seems like you guys really wanted some actual, like what to push when. So I'm gonna screen share my phone, and we can today like make a reel or make some stories so that we actually know like what buttons to push. So let me just do my little screen mirroring really quick. Okay, so I do have a couple slides I'll show you, so I'm going to pull that up. So glad to live in modern times.
How are you doing what you're doing right now?
Yeah, so you have to have an iPhone, I believe, or a MacBook, but there's this little icon right here, screen mirroring, and it's just a thing Apples can do. I don't know. Magic, sorcery, I don't even know.
On the other end, the TV switched to an Apple TV.
Oh, Sam, okay. Okay, magic. I don't know. It's really funny because when I first started at Sotheby's, they were like, "Oh, do our social media." I'm like, "Oh, I'm like an old man when it comes to technology. Like they want me to do this." It's terrified. Anyways, so I learned a lot of stuff, and now I'm pretty good at technology. Look at how I project my slides from my phone. Okay, so today is kind of demonstration for realtors. If we run out of time, just ping me. I would like to leave, time for questions at the end, but also throughout. If you just have a question, please share. And there's no stupid questions because if you're thinking it, someone else is probably thinking it. So we're here to learn and we're here to get stuff done. So I just had my 1-year business anniversary. I started doing social media management, but I kind of realized that people want to do their own social media. Lots of times they want to do it, but they just don't know how. And you're so busy wearing a million hats, and lots of you are parents and you run households and you have other things to do, and it's just hard to spend all that time. So what I've done is I've kind of changed my business model a little bit to be more coaching, because that way hopefully I can empower you or empower your team or whoever to do your own social media in a way that fits and feels right with your brand voice and everything. Sometimes there's just like little nuances that you can't really explain, or like especially in real estate, there's so many things you're not allowed to say. And so as you're training somebody new, it might be hard to be like, if when it goes pending, you can't say how much it's pending for, stuff like that. I learned that mistakes the hard way. So so that's what I do. I work with teams to, the top part is short for social media standard operating procedures. So that way you have a framework to either post your own social media, or if anybody here is like the admin and they're doing social media for the office, it's just important to be able to kind of set these standards ahead of time. Like, what do we say? What do we not say? What's our tone? So typically I work kind of like on a brand identity guide first, and then once the boss okays that, then I go and work with the team, and I can train them how to make content in a way that fits with the brand, fits with your industry compliance standards and things like that. And my line is, when you spend hours on YouTube, I'm sure all of you have probably been like, hey, how many of you have gone to like those free webinars or like YouTube, and you're so energized by the end of it, and then you go to do it and you're like, wait, that's not what I see here. And I saw that so much that I was like, I think people just need a more personalized approach. Like they just kind of need take those things that you're learning on YouTube, but like how to actually do it. So yeah, thank you so much, Christina. If you would be so kind, I would really appreciate it throughout this conversation, throughout your presentation. If you take a picture and tag me, I would love to see like what your biggest takeaways are. You can take shots of anything on here that I present, and if you want my slides afterwards, we can totally do that. So today we're going to talk a lot about using our stories editor. So anybody post an Instagram story before? Sweet. Okay. So there's a lot of really cool tools in there that you can use. Does anybody use Canva? Okay. So a lot of people want to use Canva, but I'm going to kind of show you this workaround. Like if you don't know what Canva is or don't have Canva, I'll show you a really easy way that you can make on-brand graphics right there in the Instagram app. So you can like make a slideshow of information posts or something. We're going to hopefully make 1 to 2 reels, and I'd love to get a little bit of participation if you'd like. But the first thing I just wanted to touch on is your Instagram profile optimized? This is really important. So as you leave this class and as you go forward and you continue to learn about social media, you're going to be posting more, you're going to be tagging your friends, you're going to be building momentum, and your potential clients are going to see you on Instagram. They're going to see your reel and they're going to come back to your profile to check you out. And it's so important for your profile to be optimized, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but your profile needs to say, you know, what you do, who you do it for, and how they can learn more, and in a way that chalks in a bunch of keywords and search terms, because everything in your bio is searchable. It's like indexed just like Google search words or something. So if you scan that QR code, that takes you to a free profile audit for Facebook and Instagram. And there's a couple prompts in there that help you write a bio if you're not really sure how to write one. And I'll share that at the end. So I just wanted to touch base. Please make sure that your Instagram, just think about the words that might be in there, okay? So is Walla Walla probably in there? Yeah, probably home or realtor, one combination or another, right? So think about what is your target audience searching for when they're finding you. Because if you don't have, you know, if it's not clear what you do and who you do it for, then you're kind of just losing that momentum. Like they followed you, they've taken the extra step of pushing that button to come to your profile. And that's what makes the difference between this person being a follower and this person being like a lead or, you know, or a client. Okay, so now we're going to use the Instagram Stories Editor. And in my January class, I talked about making a content B-roll folder on your phone. This is also called building a content bank. And all this is you have an album in your phone, and throughout your day or your week, you put your phone up and you record a video of you at your computer. Or maybe you're holding your phone as you walk into your car or into your office, or you're putting the sold sign on the top, you know, that slider thing. Think about the things that you do, and then just try once in a blue moon or anytime you look cute, you know, like I don't get all dressed up every day, so if I'm going to dress up, like I'll probably just take a quick video so I can save it for later in my content bank. And what this does is that way, if you want to share a quick message or a tip, or you want to make an offer or talk about an event or open a house, you have something ready to go right there. Get out of here. Just kidding. One thing that's really helpful is if a lot of you have corporate offices and like lots of branding details available, like brand colors and fonts and stuff. If you have if you have an album in your camera roll that's like your headshot, you know, like your brand colors, even if it's just nothing but like a color swatch, those are some things that can be really, really helpful. So now I'm going to pause this and I'm going to go to my camera roll. And so I have an iPhone. So you see I have an album, and then I have lifestyle B-roll, okay? So this is, oh, it is working. So this is something I took at a conference. It's not really that cool. I did a handstand in a glass elevator. That's kind of cool. But I was like, get this on video, okay? Or like, you know, sometimes it's kid stuff. It's up to you if you want to share your kids or your lifestyle, but some people want to know, especially if in real estate I've realized like, oh, they have young kids too, like they really get me. Or, you know, this is just, I was all dressed up one day and I was like, hey, I'm just going to set up my tripod and I'm just going to get a picture of me walking. And the cool thing is that, let's say I literally just put my phone on a tripod. Also, I'm wearing my brand colors too. So I was like, I got to get this. Okay, so then check this out. I can just pause and take a screenshot of this. Okay, you didn't see the blink, but I took a screenshot. So that's why it's so important to start thinking of a content bank or content or lifestyle B-roll. Yeah, Jessica?
On your iPhone, when you do the B-rolls, do you set up that phone? When you take a picture, how do you get it to go into that
Yep. Okay, so this is my recent album, okay? So let me see, like I just took a picture. I was like, okay, I got my outfit, and then I'm gonna like get a picture like, hey, I'm here. So then I just push this share button, and then it goes into add to album. So then you would just pick, oh, it's not going, I can't see it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I follow.
Okay, so you push the little upward arrow, share. Hi, Michelle. And then you would just add to album, and then you select the album, lifestyle B-roll. Yeah. Sometimes I forget to do that, and I have to go back and scroll and be like, oh, that's what it was. Yeah. So then I also have an album called Brand Highlights. So like I just went on to Canva and I just saved these colors. I just took screenshots. You could even like walk up to your sign, like a sign at your office, and just take a picture of like Windermere Blue or whatever and keep it in an album, maybe with your headshots and anything that might be kind of relevant in your brand guide. So that way, this is all saved and ready to go, because the demand for social media content is so vast, and if you're starting from scratch every single time, it's exhausting. And then you gotta like figure out what you're gonna talk about. Then you're gonna, figure out what video or photo to share. And then like it's like an hour later, and then you have to figure out what to write. And then you're like, well, crap, now I've just spent all this time on here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up Instagram, and I'm gonna push that plus sign at the bottom. And I'm going to, I was looking at Jessica's videos. Okay, so I'm gonna push this plus sign, and I'm gonna say story. Okay, and so one thing that you can do this is something I do all the time. If I just want to make an announcement like, hey, I'm, gonna be at this class in 5 minutes. Did you get your ticket yet? Did you RSVP? Come now. Can literally just like take a picture of this even. And then I'm pushing this text button, and I could say, do you have a content bank? Or whatever is relevant, like, are you in your dream house? Do you feel good about your realtor? I don't know. I mean, things like this, right? So at the top, there's that rainbow wheel, and I can push that, and I push that color dropper tool, and I can just pick all the colors. So that's just how you're gonna make stories on brand. So if you have a picture of your brand color, then you can use this color picker tool to make the colors on brand. Does that make sense? So how many of you knew about this already? Okay, you guys are doing super great. Okay.
I've seen the button and I didn't know that's how it worked.
Do you know how much I learned so much by just pushing buttons and being like, what does this do? And everybody's so worried about that. They're like, what if I Xerox a copy of my butt to my coworker or something? It's like not gonna happen. Like if you make a mistake that's really embarrassing, you can just delete it and like no one will know. So I would really encourage you to just play around in it and see what all you can do. One thing, I'll show you kind of what I mean. So if you just need to make an announcement, or let's say, do you guys know what a carousel post is? Christina knows. Okay, tell us what a carousel post is, Christina.
Well, carousel post is when you take static photos and you do multiple of those, and they can either be photos, or you go on Canva and you make
a graphic.
Yeah,
with text.
Make a graphic with text, but it's how you tell a story with more than one photo.
Okay.
So in a post.
So I haven't really had a pulse on real estate in a minute, so I'm going to give an example, and if there's like a more prudent one, please chime in and let me know. But maybe I could say, calling all first-time home buyers. This is the process for buying a home. It doesn't start with shopping. Scroll to learn more. Does that sound relevant? You got to get pre-qualified, right? Okay, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to show you guys how you can make a carousel post and a graphic right here in Canva. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to take a picture of this brick wall because the brick wall is really pretty. Or this could be like, hey, do you like old homes or do you like new construction? What's your style? Okay, so let's say I want to say, what did I just say? Okay, calling first-time home buyers. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to have your phone out and do this with me or do it a long way, you totally can. I won't be offended. And I want to make the most of your time. So if you are like, hey, I'm going to post while I'm in this social media class. Whoops. Okay, maybe I'll turn on this do not disturb really quick. Okay, calling first time home buyers. Dang it. Did you know the home buying process doesn't start with shopping, question mark? Swipe to learn more. Okay. You always gotta check. Say weird stuff sometimes. So calling for some home buyers. Did you know the home buying process?
You wrote home.
Thanks. See, you gotta watch out for these things. Okay. Did you know the home buying process doesn't start with shopping? Okay, swipe to learn more. So this is fine. You guys can keep it like this if you want, but in my opinion, the black's kind of harsh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap that, and I'm going to use this color picker tool, color dropper, and I might like pick a different, I might pick something different, right? Okay. Another trick you can do. Okay, it's okay. So I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to do a different version of the same thing. So what I'm going to do instead, to make it easier to read, I'm going to type a period and a bunch of spaces. And then on this font on the bottom, I'm going to scroll, because you'll notice now that that box is kind of transparent a little bit, as opposed to being like a solid color block. These all are like kind of different styles. So I'm going to do this. It's going to be transparent. I'm going to click the color wheel. Whoops. Color dropper. Okay, so now it's a little bit more like cohesive, right? And I'm going to use my fingers to resize this. Now I'm going to do another text on top of this, and I'm going to long press the thing I just wrote. Okay, and then I'll... Oh, okay. And all these, you can like pick different colors in here. So this is what I mean. Like if you like Canva, use Canva. I love Canva. But if you're on the go or for whatever reason, that's just another option that's available to you, okay? Maybe I'll make it brown to sort of be a little more cohesive. And then if you long press, you can actually pick so many of these colors. Okay, swipe to learn more. Okay, now I'm going to do what is called a sticker, which is that little square smiley face. And I'm going to type arrow, because I want it to indicate like you're supposed to swipe here. So I'll swipe arrow. And I don't want... You're right. Good catch, Christina. Thanks. I was about to do that. Oh, jeez. So look what I did, darn it. I messed it up with the layers. Okay, hold on. I have to move this. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. So I'm going to move that, move this back down. So now if I touch anywhere around where that like overlay is, it's going to make that the top layer. So I'm just not going to mess with it right now, okay? I'm going to put the arrow again. Hopefully I can. So it is finicky and it's frustrating. And so if you are feeling frustrated, you're totally validated in that.
Could you just use that arrow in your text box too? Like,
you totally could. Yep.
and then it wouldn't change the
You could do that, yeah. So then those three dots at the top, you can right click and you can click save. And now this is going to be saved in my camera roll. So that's essentially the first slide, okay? So now, what would I write in my second slide? Would I write step 1 is to find a lender?
Or a realtor.
Well, which one should I put?
That works. Find a lender.
Okay. Well, I don't want to say the wrong thing now, you guys. Okay.
No, say find a lender. Need help finding one? Find a realtor.
But if they're looking
Or
at realtors,
Talk to the realtor about
Oh, so it's when you say find a lender.
I like they use the
Because
word.
I would prefer they didn't find Rocket Mortgage before they talk to me.
That's so true. So true. See? What'd you say, Valerie?
If you're portraying as a realtor, they're
Right.
already looking at a realtor. So it should say, reach out to me and I'll give you my preferred lenders.
Sure.
Or find a local lender or, you know.
Yeah, as a realtor, I like being involved in that. I like
Sure. Okay. So step one, find a realtor that you trust and find a realtor that you trust, right? Can I put that step one? Okay.
Very cool.
Good.
Like you're doing one right now.
Woo! That's good. Okay. You know, you got to practice. Okay. So find a realtor you can trust. The arrow is still there. Okay. Now I'm going to save this again. Okay. Now I'm going to do step 2. Would I say ask their recommendations for a lender? What do you want me to say? Because you guys are the realtors.
Have them point you in the direction of their favorite lenders.
No, so what was slide one? Sorry.
Slide 1 was find a realtor you can trust.
Okay,
So step 2 would be
get pre-approved from one of their approved lenders.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-approved should be in there. Good call.
okay, get pre-approved by one of their, what'd you say?
Preferred, thank you, Jessica.
Preferred lenders. Okay.
I like the word trust.
Oh,
Trusted.
one
Yeah.
of their trusted lenders, that's
Yeah.
good, I like that word better too.
Okay. Thank you for
Who needs Chat GPT? We're just a word bank in here.
okay, so then we're gonna save this, okay? So 3. What's step 3, you guys?
Identify houses you are interested in looking at based on your pre-approval amount.
Identify houses you are interested in looking at based on your pre-approval amount. Okay. All right, so I'm going to save this. Step 4, have fun shopping. Can I write that?
Yeah?
Okay. Have fun shopping, exclamation
With
mark.
your realtor.
Oh. See, yes.
With trusted real estate advisor.
Right, circling back.
With your realtor. They just don't get it, do they? Okay.
And realtor needs to be capitalized R.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Christina. Okay. For the sake of time, let's make the next one the last one. So what would you say? Like,
So you want to take this one off?
yeah. Okay. So what would the last step be, just for the sake of time? What would the next step be?
Write an offer.
Okay.
You're able to undo too, right? Mess up. Like if you're like, oh wait, I forgot to add something to that last slide. Can you undo?
Once you save it to your camera roll, then you wouldn't undo it. It would be saved, but you could like remake it pretty quickly.
Okay.
Okay, write an offer. And then what I would do is I'm going to save this one. And then for the sake of time, like I want the last slide, I want the last one in here to be a call to action, right? I want them to do it, do the thing. So what I'm going to do, just get rid of this for now.
Contact me to get started today.
Exactly. I'm trying to get rid of that arrow. Okay. So maybe I'll say, call me to get started. And then you put your phone number. You get it, right? Okay. You know, one thing you could do actually is now that you have this overlay, you could actually just save this. And then you wouldn't have to worry about it sliding around. So then this is saved. So then let's say I'm going to like write a story and be like, oh, save all that trouble. I'm just going to go right to this one. Paste. Okay. Call me to get started. So let's say that's your phone number, okay? So now, instead of posting that as a story, like don't click that white arrow, go back, discard. And now I can say, okay, and I'm going to push that plus sign, picked a story. I'm going to click that little square on the bottom corner to look at my camera roll. And now all these things are there. So I'm going to select multiple. Okay. Well, son of a gun, looks like I didn't save that first one. Did I? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that's a pretty easy post. Oh, dang it. I did it as a story. Shoot, you guys. Sorry about that.
I didn't know you could share 5 pictures to a story.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. I like kind of doing it one at a time because if you do that, they'll only let you share 10. You know, and then sometimes I have more that I want to share. So I meant to say post a post, right? So now I'm going to click the multiple ones. 1, 2, okay. Did you know that looking for homes is not the first step of home buying, question mark? Okay, so I'm going to post this so you can see, and then I'm going to probably take it down later. But on this last page, you know, just go through if there's anything you want. If you want to tag your office page or something, or like tag your lender that you really like using, or you know, add a location. Go through this and try to fill out everything that you can if it applies. Okay, and I have this automatically sharing to my Facebook. That's a setting that is available to you. So I'm not going to show that right now, but just know that it's really easy to do that. And then you just make it on Instagram and you share it. So I'm going to push share. And this will show up any minute now, okay? So does anybody have questions about using the Instagram story? See, there it is. So that's my carousel post. And now I can go here. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Is that useful? You think you guys would use that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. One thing while we're still on the subject of stories, this is a really vast thing, right? I'm only going to touch on it a little bit more before we get to like making reels. But what I will say is that you can go on Instagram or even YouTube and type in like Instagram stories tips or Instagram stories hacks. And there are so many reels of people who are so creative in all the ways that they use their stories. It's really exciting. So that's something that you can totally do. So let's just say, I just really like this pattern because I love this color. Okay, so one more thing, just a quick little tour of stories. Please just make sure that you touch all the buttons and just see what it does, okay? So I can click that stories button and I can click, like this is my camera roll. Maybe I wanted to share, dang it. Okay, so let's say this is a picture I just took, okay? So then I can like use that picture of that carpet and maybe I upload a picture like a headshot or a picture of a listing or something. And now it's just a little bit more aesthetic, right? Because I have this pattern behind it. And then one last thing is when you are in your stickers, there's something called stickers codes. And there are these little graphics that you can add to your stickers. So I always add one I just call it Stardust. And so now I can like add these things. Hold on, it's not what I want. Starburst, is that what I do? Yeah, so maybe I want like, you know, a little emphasis, or I even type in emphasis sometimes. And then, you know, maybe I want to like use this, like open house, you know, make sure that it's there underneath, right? So it's kind of a finicky thing, but, you know, maybe I wanted to like move this and I want to draw attention to something. So if you do those stickers codes, again, that's something that you can look up on a different time. Look up stickers codes. Oh, by the way, I bet if you type in your office,
Yeah.
Windermere.
Donald Scott. I know
Yep.
if you type in Donald Scott, there's branded stickers.
Yep.
I bet
Yeah.
Keep checking, because when I first started using them, we had barely any as well. But they've gotten more hit.
Yeah. They've gotten more hip, but you don't even need this if your office isn't found on here. What you can do is you can save that as a logo, like take your logo and like take a picture of it, and then using what I just showed you, where you're like upload a photo from your album, then you can put that on there. So we can look.
So show them how to do it. Go to your pictures and do a copy text. So
Yeah.
you can upload it as a text if they don't have a logo.
So let's say I want to do. So if you have an iPhone and you have a picture, hold on, where did I? Let's do this, right? So maybe I can long press. You see how it glowed right there? Copy. Get rid of that. Now I'm going to tap here. I'm going to long press and do paste. Yeah. So if you had a logo in a picture, like your front door or something, you could.
Can you do that again?
Yep. And I only know how to do this on iPhone. I don't know if there's a similar feature. So let's say maybe I want to look at I'm going to type in John L. Scott. Okay, so I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Okay, and now I'm going to go to my photos, and it's going to be in there. So, it might not work with this one. Hold on. Let me crop this so that it's mostly just that. Okay. Dang. Okay, so
It's like a trademark now. It's just that's how it is.
so normally you would just do a long press, and I think maybe it's not working because this is like a lot of text on here instead of like an image.
So like if we did like a picture of like a John Scott yard sign or something like that. So just go back into the other one so we can. So you press, you hold it tight.
Okay.
Well, this is a new feature, right, on our iPhones?
Let's see.
You can hold on that and it copies, and it's not translating with the screen mirroring.
Yeah.
That's what she's doing. And it's like the.
But she's copying it to Instagram.
But I'm pressing it and I'm putting paste to Instagram.
Oh my lord.
So let's say this, right? Like maybe I wanted to make a story that was branded for John L. Scott. And I can, like with that screenshot that I just took, it's in my camera roll now, so I can click right here, John L. Scott. And let's say I want to make the background like green, like that, like John L. Scott green. What I can do is I'll click those three dots. I added my picture to it right from my camera roll, so I'll click on that one that says draw. And then I can use that color picker tool, cover over that green. I'm going to long press. And now it's all green. So you could maybe do this if you're going to make a carousel post in that last example. And you can add, and then you make sure to push done, okay? And
Can
then
you make it more translucent?
if I was going to do that, I would probably do that text trick where I use that text button. I scroll to the very left. And I'll type like a dot and a period, right? So now it's kind of highlighted, but I don't want it to be black. Maybe I want it to be white. I just tapped it again. So this, yeah. So maybe I want to do that, and then I want this to be on top, so I just touched it again. Yeah. And these are all tricks that, like, unless you were like just spending a ton of time not writing offers and not looking at houses, you know, like this, I just found this from clicking on buttons, honestly. So,
These are great wintertime projects.
yeah.
Floor time, if you have that.
Floor time, yeah. Okay, so one thing I wanted to talk about was the reels. So we have 8 minutes left. Everyone's got to leave at 12:30, right?
No, I have it till 1.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I want to focus on the reel next. So there's a lot of reels that you can make, and I guarantee that you might be it's very likely that you're overthinking the type of content that you need for it. It can be, you know, go back to your content B-roll. Well, maybe it's just a picture of you a video of you on the phone, and then you add a quick text on top, okay? So it can be really, really simple as long as you have that B-roll. Hold on, I'm gonna just delete this really quick. It doesn't really make sense for me to be posting about realtors as much as I have a stop for the realtors. So what I'm gonna do is there's basically 2 types of reels that I would want you to focus on, okay? Mix it up, right? But there's gonna be what they call a talking head video, and that's where you literally just have your phone on a tripod. Christina does this all the time. You do a really good job. And, you know, you just say, you start with the hook, you know, what is this video about? If you're looking to buy a home, you might be surprised to know that finding homes to shop for is not step 1. So in this case, you might have like a little bit of a script that you write out, or your talking points, just because it's kind of hard. Like being on video is like not easy. You probably know this. You have to like really work at it. So maybe write a script, right? Keep it around a minute, and you'll just have your talking points, okay? And then similar to what we just did, you know, those would be your talking points, like on that carousel post that we just posted. So if that's the case, you can record it right in the Instagram app, or you can record it on your camera roll and then upload it later. So for the sake of this, I really wanted to do a fun example. So Jenilyn was like, hey, it would be so great if we could like make a reel in the class for the realtors. So let me know if you want to do this, okay? I really want to make a reel, like a reel explaining real estate now, like from the association, or like from all you guys that are, you know, in the same team. So I was thinking, what if we made a talking head video that said something along the lines of maybe the example that I just found, or like reasons why you want to work with a realtor, like don't go through this alone.
I love the idea of doing it. Reasons why you want to work with a realtor, because then we put it on our Facebook page.
Yeah. Well, and then
And
maybe one of you could say, because of that one time that there was, what do you say, a cable in the sewer line or something? Maybe like, no, don't say that. Okay. Okay.
Yes, like that.
Well, if you had an example, can anybody think of like a horror story right now that it might be safe
But it needs
to
to be
share?
from 8 years ago.
Exactly.
Okay.
From 8 years ago.
Yeah, not right now. Because then we can make a reel right now where you would each have one line and it would have all your faces on it. Is that something you would want to do?
Another suggestion, we wouldn't have to do horror stories. We can list why there are the good reasons to work with the realtors. We're the local experts. We have continuing education, like pointing out the benefits
Okay.
rather than
With the wine bottles in the background.
Would 3 of you like to do that?
I'm down.
Sean's down. Sean, right? Okay, Sean's down.
as well.
Christina's down. Anybody else?
What did we try? I don't even know. I wasn't paying attention what we got.
It's okay. Just say a reason why it's good to work with a realtor. I hear people saying now that like, oh, rates are high, save money by not working with a realtor. And I'm like, yikes. No, thank you.
Bad choice.
Yeah. So does anybody have anything they'd like to say about that? Okay, I was just trying to be like, okay, I get it. You know, there's a lot you have to think about, who's going to see it, and, you know, all this compliance stuff. But one type of reel that you could make is just explaining something. And it might be a tip, like, you know, how to get started with real estate, or it might just be a story, like, hey, I had this couple come in. They wanted to buy their parents' house. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a scary story. It could just be like, what did you do that day? You know, or it might be maybe you can have your phone up on a tripod, and you know your partner or your friend could stand behind the tripod and ask you about your day. So you can just share things like that. And all you do really is just like, okay, I'm going to push the plus sign. I'm going to do this reel right now. And I'm going to say, what am I going to say on the spot? I'm going to say, I'm here teaching a class showing how easy it is to make a reel. Okay, so watch, I'm going to do that right now. I'm here at Knocking Point teaching a class to realtors about how making reels can be more simple. Okay, that's step one. Step two, maybe it's just like, maybe I'll get like a different background and I'll say, we're talking about a content bank or a content B-roll album in your phone so that way all your footage is ready to go when you need to post. Okay? If you're not sure what a content bank is, make sure you like and follow for more. I'm not going to post it. I would want to edit it a little bit more, but I'm just trying to show you that you can do it right there in the app. Just do a hook, a story, a call to action. A hook, it's easy. I'm calling you out on something that you probably might identify with, like it could be simpler than you really think. Here's the backstory. I'm teaching a class on it this very second. Make sure you like and follow, okay? Oh, shoot, it's not going to work because my mic is picking up there, and now I don't have audio. Shoot. Okay. Let's say I was going to post this, right? I would go up to the stories, and I would put captions, or the stickers. It's not going to find any captions because of this issue that I'm having right now. Oh, my gosh, why? I don't get it. Okay. That's so great. So every word that you say and every word on screen is indexed by Instagram or by TikTok or whatever platform you're using. So when I'm saying every word in here is searchable, it's going to help people find my video.
Use captions. There are so many people who are watching without volume.
Yep.
And I am skipping over any video
Yep.
that does not have a caption.
Yep, so it helps with ranking and also helps that your video is actually going to get seen. If, it's kind of hard to read, so I can just tap it and I'll click this little A. And I clicked on the sticker, and then I clicked caption. Okay? And again, here's that button to take me to my camera roll. Okay? So if I wanted to, like, add a headshot or, like, add I don't know, you can, like, add a picture over top of your...
What are you pressing?
Let's say I press that. So I'm not going to make this branded for John L. Scott, but if I wanted to, then I could just go to my camera roll because that's this John L. Scott thing. That's a screenshot that I just took a few minutes ago. The square up, that little smiley face with the square around it. So that takes you to all the stickers. I push cancel. So these are lots of stickers that are here ready to go.
No, I'm in a picture. You said I'm going to press.
Yeah.
Top right.
So this one that's like the circle.
Oh,
You can turn it
That
over
one.
into a sticker.
But it will always look different because it's going to look like the newest picture on your camera roll. So that's why I added that there. Okay, so that's how you do that. I'm going to drag this down. Okay, so when I was in school, in college and in high school and everything, the teachers always told me never leave anything blank. Always fill it out, even if you don't know what you're talking about. Even if you're BSing, never leave a section blank. And I think about this when I post reels because I'm going through all of these and I'm thinking, okay, am I going to add a sound or some music? Okay, maybe. Am I going to add captions? Am I going to add text on screen? Okay, next. And then I get to this point. I'm like, okay, cover, caption. Am I going to tag people? So I just go down this list and I'm like, okay, what can I do? Sometimes it might not be relevant. Like I don't need to tag, like maybe I would tag Knocking Point, right?
But she doesn't need to tag products. So you could add a message button.
Yeah, add a message button. So it could be, they'll say that this will be like that little blue banner on the very bottom of my reel that just says message right now. And it takes them automatically to a direct message. And the direct messaging, that's a warm lead. Like that's like automatically a warm lead because they're choosing to message you. It's more intimate. It's like a conversation, right? So don't shy away from that because that can be really important. That's where you nurture your leads. So I'm going to save this to a draft. Did you guys know you can make a reel and then save it to a draft for later? So I'm going to save that as a draft. And I'll find that here by that second button over. Thank you. Are you leaving?
I am.
Okay. Okay, thanks so much for coming.
Bye, Jim.
second one over, that little play button, this is where I'm gonna find all my drafts. So I've made a couple drafts. I can come back and post those later. So let's say you're feeling it, you were all dressed up, you had a bunch of ideas, you wanted to make a couple drafts all at once. Then all you could do is you go back here and then you just find your drafts folder, and you might want to make a couple of them all at once and then write the captions, get them all ready to go. And that way, 3 times a week or once a week, whatever your goal is, then you have that to post, okay? So now I'm going to show you one more type of reel. This is more of a talking head video. I try to keep it 60 seconds or less. And it's hard. It's hard because you're like, I have so much to say. How can I possibly say it in 60 seconds, honestly? But it'll be practice. It's a process, okay? And then the next thing I'm going to show you how to do, the last thing that I have on the docket really, is how to make a trending audio reel. And it's nice. It's really great to alternate, because a trending audio reel is like, an audio is trending. Lately, I'm sure you guys have noticed that Barbie has been really popular. There's like sound bites from the video, there's quotes, there's just music, there's remixes. So any of those audios that's trending, I'll show you how to find a trending audio, is gonna get you more traction. It's gonna get seen more, the algorithm is pushing it out, okay? But then you have like a talking, yeah. But then you're gonna have a talking head video. The people who are already following you are seeing these as well. So either a new person is seeing a reel and they're going to follow you, or someone that already follows you, they're seeing you again. It's like a second touch point. But then a carousel post, pretty much only people that already follow you are going to see that. So that's a great time to engage. So reels, you're getting in front of new people typically. And then carousel posts is a great place for you to go deeper with the followers that you already have. So if we're thinking of social media as a lead nurturing tool, it's kind of a mix of new reels to get new people to see you, call to action, make sure you like and follow. If you like Walla Walla, make sure you like and follow, comment, tell a friend, whatever. And then it comes around to, now they're seeing you, now you're on, I don't know what they say, the marketer people say, they're like, a client needs like 721 touch points before they call you. So these are those touch points. Does that make sense? Okay, so now we'll find a trending audio. And sometimes this is like a soundbite. It could be like a little remix, like a song, or sometimes it's like a soundbite from The Office, and it's like really applicable. Like one time I did a trending audio reel. The audio was from that movie Rapunzel, and it's like the princess, she's like, I can't believe I left my tower. I'm never going back. This is so great. This is so awful. And so I took kind of that message and I applied it to, at the point I had just started my own business. I had left the office job at that point. So I was sharing like, oh my God, I started my own business. This is awesome. Oh my God, I'm never going back. Oh my God, I can do whatever I want. Oh my God, I like having money in savings. All those, like the back and forth. So maybe you might be scrolling and find a trending audio that you're like, oh, that's a winner right there. So what I do to do that is I go to this tab, and this shows me all the reels. So that's this tab down here. So I'm just scrolling reels. I have my noise down. I don't really care at this point what it sounds like. I'm looking for this upward arrow, and that's going to let me know if it's trending or not. So for whatever reason, I can't actually hear. I think it's, I'm recording, I'm screen sharing, so for whatever reason I can't hear what this actual is. But this page right here, if I click right there, it'll tell me more about the song. So I'll click down there. And these are examples of other people that have used it. So maybe you want to look for inspiration. Maybe you just want to see how else it's being used. So this is saying it's been used in 9,880 reels. And if you really love it, feel free to use it. But you're going to get more traction if that number is under 10,000, even better if it's under 5,000, because that means that you're coming to this trend before other people. And then your reel will be on this page. So it'll be seen more and it'll have a longer shelf life. Does that make sense? So then from here, on the top, there's those 3 icons, the paper plane. That one in the middle is like a bookmark. So I can save this for later. So maybe I don't want to make a reel right now, but I definitely want to come back and use it when I make my reels. Just don't wait too long, because by next week it probably won't be trending. But at the end of the day, if you're showing up and if you're posting, you're already winning. So I don't need to worry about all the finer details. But maybe I want to use it right now. Okay? And I can use it right now. So this is where that content B-roll comes into place. Instead of recording right now on the app, I'm going to push that icon in the bottom corner to my camera roll. And instead of recents, I'm going to navigate to the folder called Lifestyle B-roll. Where'd it go? Son of a gun, where did it go? Let's say lifestyle. Oh, okay. So this is all the stuff that I've already saved. This is just me yesterday walking by a building because I had a cute outfit on and I like brick buildings. So I'm going to use my slider. This is like a finger slider. So we want this video to be like 4 to 7 seconds. And the reason is because more people will watch it because they'll accidentally watch it twice because it's going to replay because they can't read all your text in time. Does that make sense? So if Instagram is like, oh, this video, people are watching it multiple times, it must be doing really great. I'm going to push this out more. That's how you kind of trick the algorithm. So I'm going to get to the point. I'm just using my finger to the point where I'm walking, okay? So on the bottom right here, it says 5.25. That lets me know how long the clip is that I've selected. So I'm going to do 4.61. Okay. You betcha. Bye, Jessica. Okay, so then I'll do next. So again, I'm going to kind of just go through the buttons. I'm going to fill in everything I possibly can, okay? So this is a great trick. If you could take copy from your website or your email or a flyer or your listing, and you can copy and paste it right here.
And it's a much easier way to get your face on camera if you don't feel comfortable doing this talking text.
Exactly, right. So if you're shy, or if you're really shy, just take a video of your hands typing on the computer. Just your hands, or like you could set up a tripod to get like the behind you angle, like you're at your computer doing something. Okay, so now I can say, did you know it's a lot easier than you think to create reels? ? Always does that. Just take pictures and videos of your everyday life, period. Walking into an office, comma, answering your phone, comma, working at your computer, comma, think of everything you do on a day-to-day basis, comma, write it down, comma, and there's your shot list, period. That's why you always check. I would still rather talk it out. There's your shot list. I did this recently and it said, there's your shit list, so that's why you gotta watch out. Okay, so do you know it's a lot easier than you think to create reels? Just take pictures and videos of your everyday life, walking into an office, answering your phone, working at your computer. Maybe I'll make that like a new line. Think of everything you do on a day-to-day basis, write it down, and there's your shot list. Follow for easy Instagram tips. Okay, so if you didn't notice already, I have a hook, I have a story, I have a call to action. You need that because we're competing for people's attention. So I can leave it highlighted if I want. There's my reel. And they have to watch it twice to be able to read all that. And again, you can, I'm going to save that, okay? Yeah, so that's really,
Add music to that as well.
yeah, I did have music already, you just couldn't hear it because of whatever's happening right now. So one thing I wanted to show, I can show if you guys want to see it. I know we're kind of low on time. I also want to make sure you guys have questions. But one thing I'm going to do is I'm also a wedding officiant, and someone left me a really nice review this morning on Google. So I took a screenshot of their review, and on an iPhone, I can copy and paste the text from a picture. So I have a wedding, yeah. So now, do you want me to show you that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go to my officiant page. Okay, so I'm going to pick a reel. I'm going to pick, oh, these are my reels. Okay, so that must be trending. But if it's cartoons and groceries, I probably don't want to use it. So Man, I wish I could hear. I can't hear it right now, so I don't know what this is, if it's a sound bite or whatever. So let's say I'm going to use this audio now. Oh, great, it's trending. Okay, it's trending. This is great. So when I'm not gonna.
Trending with that 50
I know, yeah, that's a different story. Okay, so use audio. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here. I have, let me see. I do have a wedding album saved already, but it's not full. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go, let me see. Do I have one?
It's in a screenshot.
Yeah, but first I'm gonna put the video down. So maybe I'd pick a Walla Walla video. Like maybe there's like a pretty park somewhere. So I have, okay. So I have a folder in my albums that's just Walla Walla stuff. So this could be in my lifestyle B-roll, but if I like to talk about the Walla Walla lifestyle, which I'm sure you guys do a little bit. So let's say I just want like 5 seconds, okay? So now I'm gonna go, let me see, did I save that? I think I did. I took a screenshot. Here it is. Here's a screenshot, okay? So, oh, you don't see the icon. Down here, there's an icon down here on my phone. Dang it, that part's not showing. Anyways, I'm gonna do a long press. Is that showing? Dang it. It's totally highlighting right here, okay? It's highlighting. So now I'm gonna copy this. Okay, so now I have the song, as you can see, because there's a little square of that guy's face. That's like to show that I've selected that audio. Next. And I push that letter, the letter A, because that's how I can type on-screen text. I long press and I push paste. Okay, that's really long. So maybe I can. So maybe I'm going to make this into 2 bits. So I'm going to do select. I'm going to do